Busted Knuckles Custom Cycles opened its doors in February 2005 with the desire to offer all types of motorcycle enthusiasts a shop where they feel welcomed and confident. At Busted Knuckles, we pride ourselves in being a leader in the tri-state area by offering the most comprehensive selection of services to our customers in an open and welcoming atmosphere that's second to none. From basic service, new and used parts and apparel, to full restorations and one-off customs, domestic, metric, cruisers, sport bikes, scooters, or ATVs. If you ride it, we can fix it. If you can think it, we can build it. To better serve you, we've moved to a larger facility in downtown Martinsburg. So come on in. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 2. Located at 406 West Race Street in Martinsburg. Let us help you do some time behind bars.
Hi, welcome back to another bike tip brought to you by Busted Knuckles Custom Cycles here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. This month's tech tip is going to be on changing the jets, your Harley-Davidson CV carburetor. It'll be a continuation from last month when we showed you how to tune the Harley-Davidson CV carburetor. Sometimes when you change your air filter, you change your pipes, an initial tune on the carburetor can help you out and you get all the performance gains you need. If you can't get the performance gains that you need from a simple adjustment, you may have to change your jets. That's where this month's segment comes in. Changing your jets is a relatively simple process that can be performed with any simple hand tools that you have laying around your garage. All it takes is a small Phillips and a small flat tip screwdriver and you're in business. Along with the flat tip and the Phillips screwdriver, you're going to need to get a jet kit. In that jet kit will give you various sizes of jets that you may need to tune your carburetor. To see the removal procedure, check last month's episode. Once you have the carburetor off the bike, you've got the fuel emptied, set it on your bench. This is the way it actually sits on the bike. What you want to do is access the float bowl, which is underneath the carburetor. There are 4 screws that hold on the float bowl. Once you have these 4 screws loosened, the bowl is going to come straight off. You have 1 rod going into the accelerator pump. Don't worry about that, it should come straight out. Once you have the float bowl off, set it aside. Inside the float bowl, you're actually going to find your float, your idle jet, and your main jet. The first jet that you want to change out is going to be your idle jet. Take a small 1/8 inch screwdriver, flat tip, and remove your jet. For this particular part, you're going to have to actually turn the carburetor upside down to get the jet itself out. Each jet is stamped with a number on top of the jet itself. You can use this number to reference whether or not you need to go a step higher or a step lower from the jet kit. Change your idle jet first and then move on to your main jet. After each procedure, after each jet change, you're going to need to put the carburetor back together, put it back on the bike, and tune it using the same procedure that we went through last month. Access to the main jet is right on top of the emulsion tube. Now sometimes when you're trying to take this jet out, the emulsion tube may try to come with it. That's not a fatal blow. You may have to pull the emulsion tube with the main jet and then remove the jet from the emulsion tube itself. Be careful not to damage any of your jets. Be careful not to damage the emulsion tube. They are made of brass. If you mess up the top where the screwdriver goes, you're going to have a heck of a time getting it back in. Once you've changed out your jets, go ahead and put your float bowl back together. You've got a rod going into your accelerator pump. Make sure that it gets back inside the rubber boot and everything else lines up properly before setting it down. If everything doesn't line up properly or you feel any binding whatsoever, stop, pull the float bowl back off and see what's in your way. Clear the obstruction and get it back together. Go ahead and put your 4 screws back in and reinstall the carburetor onto the motorcycle. Once you've got the carburetor back together and reinstalled on the bike, you're going to have to go through the same tuning procedure we went over last month for each jet. After you change your idle jet, you're going to have to go back through the same procedure. You change your main jet, it's the same thing all over again. Although the procedure to change your jets is relatively simple, it can be time consuming because you're going back through the tuning process. If you get through changing your jets, you get the bike to run a little better, but it really isn't where you want it to be. You may have to go through a carburetor rebuild. We're going to be covering the carburetor rebuild in next month, so don't worry, we're there for you. This has been another tech tip brought to you by your friends at Busted Knuckles Custom Cycles. Ride safe.
That's when I fell for
I remember that. Remember, I'm trying to be a porno stuntman.
Like the bobblehead doll in the back window.
I know.
63 Chevy. You can do it, Brian.
I was getting ready to twice now.
Come on, you can do it. Big motorcycle guy.
No, I'm just a big girl. The removal procedure for the carburetor is going to be the same as it was last month. So refer back to last month's show. Show you how. They're laughing at me. I can actually hear them laughing at me.
A little paranoid.
Yeah, just a little paranoid. Okay, all right. Hello, my little friend. Hello, you sit there. You're being so patient.
I see.
That's always been a bad thing. In my experience, that's been a bad thing.
Right,
Especially.
This is a good red dot.
Oh, okay, all right, a good red dot. As long as it's
not
not over
on
here.
your
If it's
head,
on the camera,
it's on the
okay, all right, it's all good.
Right.
This side.
It's okay. Because
Each jet goes and it takes off from the airport. We're being serious. We're being serious here.